Welcome to the Common Dog Podcast. I'm Laura Donnell, your host, and I have three wonderful guests with me. This is June.
Hello.
June has been with us since 1999, if you can believe it. Some of our viewers already know JB. 11, going on almost 12 years.
12, yeah.
Almost 12 years. My general manager. And Ann McHugh, our senior supervisor. You've been here for going on 19. You've been here 18 years?
Yes, 18 years last November.
So, a long time.
It is.
Between the three
These
of
two
us,
trained me.
oh, right.
Yeah.
Right. Between the four of us, we have almost collectively 90 years of experience.
Yeah.
Which makes some of us feel really old.
Yes. Not me.
Anyway, welcome. Today we are talking about compassion fatigue. I thought
how
it would
we
be
make it through.
right.
Like,
Right. I mean, having been in the industry for a really long time,
Mhm.
I thought having June and Ann come and speak with us, people who have been doing this with the Common Dog for a very long time. I thought that would be of interest to our viewers. Our guest dog today has also been with us a very long time. This is Zoe. Say hi, Zoe. Yes, baby girl. So when Zoe started with us, she was obviously quite a bit younger. She's been coming for, so it's since 2013. So she's been coming for 13 years.
yeah, she started coming right before I started here.
When she started, she was so afraid of basically air, but especially the human race. Nobody could touch her. People couldn't go near her. She was just an absolute, basket case, honestly. Her wonderful owner, who we absolutely adore, worked so hard to help her get through her fears and trusted us to help Zoe as well. We all know Zoe very, very well. And she has come a long way to the point where now strangers can go up to her and she takes food from them, and she's very, very comfortable in her own skin. Initially, I actually had to pick her up, remember, and carry her into the yard. She just would not walk. She wouldn't move. She was a statue dog. And now she's just, she's great. Old sweepy. So
lady.
Zoe's our special guest
Until
today.
it's dinner time.
Until it's dinner time. And then she starts barking and reminds us all that she truly is a puppy inside.
Yeah. The alarm clock for her goes off about a half an hour before it is actually
Easily. Yeah,
dinner
sometimes,
time.
sometimes even more.
Half hour.
I'm giving her some grace
Closer
here.
to an hour more.
Yep.
So anyway, welcome. So let's get started a little bit. I've just explained how long we've all been here, but compassion fatigue is really very prevalent in the industry where you're in any industry where you're working with animals, as they have much shorter lifespans than we do. That certainly plays into it. It's always sad when one of the pups that has been coming here passes. We all feel it, very, very close to our heart.
Or they move away.
Okay. It's not as bad.
I make the joke.
Not as bad.
I make the joke that like when they sign on their documents and stuff with us, that we need to put in something there that says you cannot move.
You cannot leave
away.
Right. So, and then there are clients that are so devoted to their dog coming here, quite literally. I think I'm in at least 2 or 3 clients' wills that should they pass, we get the dog.
Yeah.
And we have
Kingston was one of them.
Yes.
Remember, he's no longer with us, which is very sad. But Kingston was one of us, which was sort of scary because I was supposed to adopt Kingston if his parents passed. And Kingston was not a big fan of mine.
Yeah, she loved you.
So I'm like, Ann, you're going to have to take Kingston because that dog won't even come near me. So, yeah, huge, big German Shepherd, but really not your typical German Shepherd. Was very afraid of almost everything. But we loved him so much.
Yeah, he was a beautiful dog.
Gorgeous
One
dog.
of the
big King Shepherd.
Yeah.
Big King
One of the
Shepherd.
biggest
Remember, he
ones
used to come with this huge, big bolstered bed.
Yeah.
So
Massive.
Yeah.
And Zoe, there's no food over there.
Bottled water.
She's like, are you sure?
Bottled water,
Yeah.
right? Yep.
Yeah.
So, in any case, so for being so long in the industry, I know when you started with the Common Dog back in 1999, you were full time, right?
No, it was part-time.
Were you part-time?
Yeah, I worked
Were you ever full time?
6:30. No, even when I worked at the hospital, I was not.
Okay.
No, always part-time.
Always
I worked
part-time.
6:30 to 12:30, 5 days.
5 days. So
Yes.
that's quite. It's 30 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you've seen a lot of changes in the
Yes.
industry, but at the Common Dog, you've definitely seen changes. When you started working with the Common Dog, the original owner was Chris Murphy.
Yes.
And then you and I met actually the year I started working with the Common Dog back in 1999 as well. That's when you and I met.
Yeah.
And so you've seen a lot of changes in the industry. You've seen a lot of changes at the Common Dog. Anything, we were doing doggy daycare when people laughed at it, when people thought it was
Right.
like ridiculous. They're like,
Right.
doggy what? Doggy daycare?
Yeah.
Now there's almost one
All
on every
over.
block,
Yeah. All over.
But so what had you start with the Common Dog? What made you go and apply for the job?
I always loved dogs. And when I was young, my mother wouldn't let us get dogs. Yeah. So she told there were 3 of us, and she told each of us, when you get married, you can get a dog, which I did.
So when you got married, you got a dog. Who was your first dog?
Daisy was my first dog.
What kind of dog was
She was part poodle
Mm-hmm.
and part terrier.
So smart, like really smart.
She was a very smart dog, but ugly.
Was she so ugly she was cute, or was she just really not that
I
attractive?
had two strangers on different days tell me what an ugly dog I had.
Oh my God! Did you punch him in the throat?
I said, she's smart.
Smarter than
you. The smart dog, yeah.
Oh my goodness! Yeah.
She had bald belly.
A bald belly.
So
yeah.
But
Eris has
she
almost
was
a bald belly. She doesn't have a lot of hair.
Hi, Zoe.
Yeah.
Well, she was something else.
Zozo, are you still looking? There's no food there.
Very
baby.
intelligent.
She will find it. She is like, I will make 100% sure there ain't a single crumb in this room.
So you got your first dog when you got married, and you started at the Common Dog because you love dogs. You wanted to interact with dogs. Was the job what you thought it would? Zozo, there's no food over there, darling. She's just not plowing through stuff.
Yeah.
Was it what you thought it would be?
Well, what happened when I started here, I had worked at Mass General for 18 years. And I loved my job there, but I decided, I would look for something else. I volunteered at the Ironstone Farm up in Andover, which, they did therapy horses.
Right. Oh, wow.
So it was awesome.
Equestrian therapy.
And I had noticed in the Everett paper that a doggy daycare had opened up. So I would stop by the old Common Dog and ask
at our old location.
at the old location and ask if they needed, any help. And the woman kept telling me no. Now I'm in my 50s by this time. No. And I was working in the yard because I got hired the first week that Chris started the business himself.
Right.
And they hired me right off the street.
That's nice.
Yeah. And I'm sitting in the yard and speaking to one of the former employees of the other owner.
Yeah.
And she said, oh, Michelle was always looking for somebody to work. So I took it as I was much too old.
That does not happen here. So we have June is our most senior.
I'm very senior.
But there are other people who, we got quite a few gray hairs running around here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then we have as young as, I think we've hired as young as 18.
Yeah.
I think we actually even hired a 17-year-old who was like 2 months away from, but she really wanted the job and talked me into it. She was wonderful. Love that girl. She was an amazing employee too. She moved on to kind of go back, address her education for what, basically was her dream job. So we were very sad to lose her. But, so when you started, did you think it was weird? I mean, most people thought doggy daycare was really weird. Did you think it was weird?
No, I thought it was about time.
It was about time. Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. And I didn't want to work with sick dogs. I didn't want to work at a veterinarian's.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
This
that's
was
that's
right
where
up my
compassion
alley.
fatigue really
Really.
sets
Yeah.
in. I mean, veterinarians and vet
Yeah.
techs and people who are having to work with dogs who are very ill, who are, the well visits are great, but they
Yeah.
get a lot of dogs that,
More
that are,
often than not,
dealing with, a lot of issues.
Mm.
And
Be
then
nice to
just,
your vets.
yeah, exactly.
Be nice to your vets.
Be nice to your vets. Apparently that is a problem too.
Mhm.
I didn't really believe that until I
No.
spoke with my own vet, and he gave me some stories about how horribly he and some of his staff members have been treated by. And when you're there and you're with your dog, and you're upset, and obviously dealing with high emotions.
Mm.
I get it, but wow, some of the stuff that people say to their veterinarian in the heat of the moment or even after, it's really quite shocking.
Really?
So, yeah, really quite shocking.
Yep.
So be nice to your vet.
I never heard this.
Yeah,
I haven't
and
either.
compassion fatigue. Actually, I
For
think being a
them-
veterinarian is like the second for suicide.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in terms of
It's a real
the first
problem.
is dentist. I think.
Dentist. is
Wild.
first.
Really?
Dentist. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
Everybody
Yeah.
hates the dentist.
I'm not a big fan
Yeah.
of going to the
Oh,
dentist, but
that's-
I'm really nice to
Historically,
my
she hates the dentist.
I'm not
Yeah.
a fan, but I go. But
Mhm.
yeah, so compassion fatigue with that industry.
I mean, the other
is
thing-
huge.
Too is like they get the dogs way after. Sometimes there are great, owners out there, but there are some that eventually they're finally taking the dog to the vet when they should have taken it weeks before
Or years.
before.
Years
They're supposed to be
or-
miracle workers.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
And they're human beings.
Right.
But there's only so far technology can get you too in medicine.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
So.
Yeah.
So you started. It was what you thought. You obviously really enjoyed it because you stayed, and obviously loved Common Dog.
Absolutely love the common dog.
And you started as a bookkeeper, right?
That's correct.
Right.
Really?
I did.
yeah.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, and started with
Yeah.
Chris as a bookkeeper.
And we never got together to do bookkeeping.
Books?
And
I never got together to do the books. Somebody was doing the books.
I was sitting on the bench outside of the office, the old office, and all of a sudden this big German Shepherd comes out and jumps up on me on the bench, and I had the biggest smile on my face, and that was it. And then I got asked just to pup in the yard one for and that was it.
You were hooked.
I was hooked.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, that's so funny.
So, and that was at the old
The old building.
building.
Yeah.
So.
I'm the only one that didn't get to work at the old building.
It
was
was the
fun.
old Balboa Club. It was
Yeah.
a after hours club.
I thought it was a VFW.
No, it was the Balboa Club,
Oh.
and after we
Den of iniquity.
the den of iniquity. Yes. Well, people would show up at like 2 and 3 in the morning and bang on the doors
door.
to be let in, thinking, and I'm
Yeah.
sure they weren't in a non-altered state, and they were banging on the doors to be let in. And back then there was a person that actually lived at the old Common Dog, and she would she'd go answer the door, and there'd be these drugged up, drunk,
Yeah.
whatever, crazy
Yeah.
people were trying. And one of the times this person got a little too edgy with her, and one of her 3 very large dogs
Yes.
got him right in the legs, way too close to the family jewels.
Oh man.
She was sure like it was that's what got bitten, and it wasn't, but it was real close.
And I remember hearing
I think it's safe to assume he never came back at
No,
2
he
in the
never
morning. He ran off, so we're assuming he's fine. But
It's fine.
but yeah, so that was a crazy place. That the way that we kind of sort of formed it into a doggy daycare. Remember the little
Took it
pass
over.
through into the kitchen?
Yeah.
Right? And I smashed my head and knocked myself out that one time.
I heard about
Yeah.
that pass through like
That
a
pass
million
through,
times.
Because I'm impatient, so I rather than walk around like a normal person, I used to jump on what was the stage
Yep.
and jump in through the little what was a kitchen pass through for food and jump into
Oh
the
my
kitchen.
God, that's what that was?
Yes. And I smashed my head one time and knocked myself out, and somebody found me, cold turkey, laying on the floor, big red mark on my forehead. So yeah, that was a long time ago.
It
I
was a
know,
long
right?
time ago.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
I remember.
So you went from bookkeeper to dog lover, but you had dogs. You'd always been
kind
with
of
love
like
dogs.
June, we lived in an apartment growing up, so we weren't allowed
Oh,
to have dogs. So I went and got a puppy and told my mom and not my dad. So I was probably 9-ish. My cousin got the sibling.
Yeah.
So we were at my uncle's house, and my dad comes and goes, "Oh, what a cute puppy!" And I say, "Oh," he's like, "Whose is it?" And I said, "It's mine." So
Mine.
my mom and dad managed to get together a down payment on a house, and they bought a house so I could keep the dog.
You're kidding.
How
was
many of
great.
our clients have moved
Yeah.
because of their
Tons.
dogs?
Yeah.
I mean, I can tell you right off the top of my head, I know of at least 10, just right off the top of my head, where I'm like, no, they definitely bought a house for their dog.
Well, I told you.
You're one of them.
Yeah, I told you the day that I got the keys to my house was Lana's birthday. I
Yeah.
was like, "Here you go,
There you
Lana.
go. Here's your house, Lana."
Here's your yard. You're welcome. This is all for you, not my kids. You."
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we've been
true.
doing it a long time, but we all have pretty different roles at the Common Dog. Me being the owner, you being the general manager, you being a supervisor, and you being a canine coach. We have different roles, but we're all very, very involved in dogs' lives. And just like with any job, you have your good days and you have your bad. And I know that you would say, well, I do this for the dogs. It's all about the dogs.
Oh, definitely.
I
is
really,
about
I don't care about the rest of it. She doesn't, no
I don't.
aspirations to become a manager or
Nope.
do any of that. She's like, no,
No,
I don't want it.
no.
Right?
And they all listen so
Yep.
well to you.
Yeah,
Like,
we
it's
all
just-
listen really well.
We all listen
Yes,
really
no
well
one
to
messes
June.
with June.
But you, like I said, you two were the ones that trained you and
I know.
your partner in crime back in the day. You were
Sue?
the ones that were the ones that
Sue.
trained me in
Yeah.
the beginning.
I miss Sue.
Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
Sue.
But that was my first introduction was
Uh-huh.
working with you and Sue.
Yeah, but it can be trying after the years. It can be a lot, I mean, it's really hard, obviously, when you lose a pet.
That's the worst part.
But we have
I agree.
100 dogs on average a day. We have 1,200 active clients. We've been working together.
Yeah.
The three of us have been working together for a very long time, and you've been doing this with just the Common Dog since
Right.
1999, and
Yeah.
we've all seen dogs kind of come and go. But it's not just about the dogs that have
Oh,
gone
God.
over the Rainbow Bridge.
Yeah.
It's as trainers, we can speak to the fact in terms of fatigue, where you work with a dog, and even with the best of intentions, the owners try, but it
just
falls
doesn't
off.
work.
They fall off of trying to of training every day, and the dog creeps back up into their bed, and then then we hear the worst, like the dog unfortunately had to get put down or something along the. I mean, we've had clients that have called us after the fact, and just sort of absolutely breaks our heart to go, oh my gosh, are you serious that happened, and that unfortunately because of that the result was the dog had to be put down. I mean, as trainers, we're always like, oh my gosh, I would have taken the dog. I would have,
we always are like, we would have taken
the dog. We
We
would
would
have
have taken it out. We would
and
have
we're
taken it out.
not the trainers who are like, every dog can be fixed and every
No.
dog should be saved. You can't. Sometimes there are just dogs who are seriously wired wrong, and they can't be trained to be around people, especially little people. And that's kind of what we see in terms of
Which
situations.
is why I started that Dogs
that
to Diapers
program.
program.
Right,
That's
Dogs
like
to
my
Diapers is a
big,
great program for people who are
my favorite
expecting.
thing that I do.
Yeah.
'Cause
So that's really hard to, and with all the training that we do, we see it every year. There's a couple where we're like, oh no,
Oh, yeah.
seriously, that happened.
Mhm.
But the thing that helps
Yep.
is seeing the like 99.9% of them
Yeah.
that have
Yeah.
success rates.
Great success.
or,
And
Yeah.
really, kind of, we all, it's like, we always say training is like algebra. If you don't use it, you're going to lose it. You have to stay in practice, just like going to the gym. You got to keep your body fit. But with dogs, especially, you got to keep their minds fit. You've got to keep making sure that that they're working every day, that they have direction, guidance. They've got a job, right? Otherwise, things start to kind of fall off a little bit.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
but,
even some of the dogs that just do daycare,
Right.
Like their owners can say like, they're so much better since, or whatever
right.
the case is.
Right.
too.
Right. right.
And I think again that helps there's probably again 99% good
right.
of this job that helps. Are you coming, Zoe?
You gonna come over here, baby girl?
you know, that helps. And like the connections that we also make with the clients, I think, like while we're mostly here for the dogs, and we got into this because of dogs.
Right.
I mean, you're close with some of the clients. You're close with some of the
absolutely.
clients, the ones that we've had for a long time. I have,
Yeah.
you know, a few that
You have friends that you.
I
you
have
know,
friends that I've made
Right.
throughout being their trainers and stuff, and it's, you know, some that are always like, "How's your kid?
Right.
How's this? How's that?" So that part of it too, like even when a dog moves away, the owner is moving away too,
Right.
Yeah.
which is kind of
Hard.
sucky as
Yeah.
well. So
Yeah, so you know, we think of our clients like family, right? And we
Yep.
definitely think of their dogs like our family. And so, yeah, when one passes or when one moves away, we lose that dog as well from
Absolutely.
our family, you know, and that can be trying. And I've definitely talked to people in the industry who decided to stop doing this because it's too hard. It's too much. I know one woman who owned a daycare down in South Carolina where, you know, I communicate with a lot of different owners across the country, even out of the country, Australia and UK and so forth, Canada. We're all on forums and we're giving each other advice and, you know, sharing stories and so on. And she shut her place down in South Carolina. One of her favorite clients, her and the dog passed away in a car accident.
oh gosh,
Oh.
And she just, you know, she
couldn't do it
she couldn't
anymore.
do it anymore. She, you know, and she was getting older, you know, and she decided that it was time
the
to,
straw that broke the camel's
yeah,
back,
that was the
essentially.
straw for her. But I mean, it's, you know, I talked to lots of people who are, I need a vacation. I need a break. I need to take a step back. And this is a job. I mean, Em can speak to this. You're in the yard with these dogs more than anyone else who works here.
Yeah,
You are 40 hours a week in the yard. You don't do the desk. You don't do grooming. You know, you are in that yard with those dogs, and that's what you want, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, we
Absolutely.
tried to get Anna on the desk a little bit, and it didn't go. She's like, "Yeah, I'm not.
and
I'm all set. I don't want to do
Definitely
the desk."
was Not my cup of tea. Nope.
it's not because of the client. Like she's great with the client.
No, that
It's the
technology,
technology part. It's
the
like,
computer. She's like, "We're not friends." The
The
computer and me.
emailing and things. I'd be calling people and
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
definitely was not.
So
my
you're
cup
in
of
the
tea.
yard literally more than anyone else who works here. So, you know, I know you can speak to, after having done this for so many years, it's hard. I mean, and it's not that you don't love your job.
I do, yeah.
It's hard.
Some days are harder than others. You know, I think there's two sides to it. Some days, if you're having a bad day or whatever, it can bring so much happiness to you.
Right.
Yeah.
You're like,
you know,
I need to go
well,
in the
you
yard.
go in and, you know,
Yeah.
you have all the dogs that are happy to see you. But then there's other days with, you know, whether they're very vocal or whatever, that some days
They're
it is.
beating you up.
Yeah, I get beat up on a regular basis, you know, and sometimes I'm sturdier than I think I am. But for the
Zozo.
most part, you know, I consider the yard my happy place. There's no question about it.
I'm more
it's
comfortable going in there, going into a crowd of people.
Oh my God.
Oh my
yes.
gosh. Give me a room full of
Yes.
Absolutely.
angry pit bulls
Yeah.
versus, you know,
People.
a room full of people. I'll take that any day.
Absolutely.
No
I
question.
mean, it's a great job. It does, you know, but like I said, some days are easier than others.
I mean,
Well, and it's physical. It's physically taxing,
Mhm.
right? It's very physically taxing. We don't sit down. There's no chairs or
No.
couches in the park.
Mm-mm.
We are there to manage the interaction of the dogs.
June used to
And
yell at me when I was pregnant.
to
Here's your
just
chair. Sit down. Just sit down. And then
Oh,
she'd walk away. I'm like,
June,
okay.
June is really the boss of all of us, to be perfectly honest. So, but seriously, it is. And people, you know, people have this belief that all we do is play with dogs all day.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, we hear it all
Oh,
the time.
sure.
Oh,
I still hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not that we don't love our jobs, but we don't play with dogs all day. Like
Mm-mm.
there isn't even a crossover of that.
Nope.
We are managing the dogs
Yep.
all day, right?
Like bouncers /
Bouncers.
slash like
Yeah.
toddler daycare
Yeah.
4'11"
workers. slash-
bouncer.
I'd run away from her.
I would too, actually. So, when I get
I'm
punched-
not that scary.
Oh, she's scary. Trust me.
The
So,
dogs still listen
the
to
dogs
you so
listen to you,
well. So
right? Yeah,
you've got
exactly.
something, man. They know. They're like,
Oh, don't mess with you.
Don't mess
They,
with you.
they see my eyes
Yes,
looking at them.
crazy eyes.
but she like June, like we've seen June run laps
Run.
around some of the younger staff, and it's
Absolutely.
hysterical to
Absolutely.
watch.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh my god. And she's just got a mop in her hand,
She's
a dog
got
on a leash,
and a mop in her hand,
and a
and a pooper scooper.
and she's just
And this
doing
dog
all
is
the
yanking
things.
on her, and she's like, cut it out now. I'm like, oh, that is the patience of Job. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so it's a lot to be in the yard, even for a half a day, right? Your days you do half day shifts, and it's a lot to be in the yard. It's physically taxing.
Right.
It's mentally taxing. And then we see girls that get older, and it sort of breaks our heart when they limp, or they're having some physical difficulty. And then we see dogs that neurologically we start to see decline. I mean, we're all seeing it in each other.
What'd you say?
We don't care about that, but we're what? Where am I? But when it's really hard to see. What? It's really hard to see in dogs, because we can't explain to them what's
going on with them.
Yeah. Oh, Zoe's done. She's at the door. She's like, yeah, I've had enough of these old broads.
It's
It's time to
lunchtime.
go. It's lunchtime.
It is lunchtime,
Where's my
actually.
lunch?
She's like, it is
looking for
11
it.
o'clock. Where is my lunch?
Where's my lunch?
She might
She's
have said,
usually barking by now.
I know.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
may well start here soon.
Yeah.
So we all started, kind of with the same intention of loving dogs. I started with training. You started with daycare. You started as a bookkeeper.
Yes, I
for a
did.
dog place. And you started with one of the first, doggy daycares on the Eastern Seaboard.
Yes.
So, we all kind of came at it different times, different approaches to it. But sometimes the daily struggle is real, That's why I really encourage people to take their time off. I'm like,
but I think too, like,
need to go take a break.
especially the ones who've been here for a while, we know each other so well that we're like,
We can see when there's a misstep, when there's
and
like,
you wanna
oh, are
step
you tired?
out,
Yeah.
or
You should go take an extra hour for
whatever
your
the
break
case
or-
is. But we also, when we do get together for staff stuff, we reminisce, and it helps all of us, I think,
Oh yeah,
for sure.
yeah,
Being so close.
very much.
Yeah.
Very much.
Yeah.
So, as we wrap this up, tell me, with exception to dogs obviously passing, what's the hardest part of your job? If you had to pick one thing, day in, day out, week in, week out, year in, year out, what's one of the hardest things of your job?
That's hard.
It is.
I know
trying to think.
for me, as the owner, the hardest part of my job is, staffing, having, bringing people on board. And that's kind of, where I have some fatigue, where I'll bring people on board and I really think they're great and this is going to be perfect and they're going to love this job the way we love
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
job, and they don't.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong
Yeah,
with that.
no.
That doesn't make them a bad person, but you have to be seriously a crazy dog lover to do this job.
Absolutely.
You also have to be a little crazy, I
Just
think.
the right kind
Not
of
just
crazy.
Right
a
kind of
crazy
crazy.
dog lover,
Yeah.
but the right
Yeah.
kind of, kind of
Yeah.
crazy. And
It's a
then,
good kind of crazy.
yeah, it's a good kind of, well, we think
Yeah.
it's a good kind
Yeah,
of
we
crazy.
do.
But that for me is
see
probably a
nothing wrong
large
with
part
it.
of my fatigue.
Yeah.
Um,
I think when the new people come in, they expect to play with dogs all day.
even though we say a million times,
Times.
Yes.
In the
this is
interview
not-
process.
In the interview process, I'm like, do you understand? I mean, but partway through the interview, I actually look at them and I say, so have I talked you out of the job yet? I
Mhm.
literally say it to every single person because
Yeah.
I say all the hard stuff
Mm.
about this job
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we need them to know
to
and
understand.
understand what this is about.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to keep your eyes open at all
All
times,
times.
and if you're
It's like being a lifeguard.
yes,
It's
yes,
very much
you
like
have
with
to.
being a lifeguard. Like
Yeah.
you always, and it's kind of that mom thing, right? You gotta
Yeah.
have eyes in the back of your
Yeah.
head,
Head. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
right? Lifeguard, mom.
Oh, I can hear a certain dog
simultaneous.
barking, and I'm like,
Mhm.
Knock it off.
They
And
need
I
to.
know who it is from
they're
across the
struggling.
yard.
They're having a bad day. Let's move them into a different yard just by their bark,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
But if you,
Mhm.
the hard part for me is staffing fatigue because I
Yeah, I get that.
really want these people to work out, and it's not meant for everybody.
No, it isn't.
So,
It isn't.
So mine definitely, now that you guys have talked, is going over things with new hires and things like that more than once.
Right.
And they continue
Over
to do
and
the
over
same
and
thing.
over.
And so that is,
Get your face out of the dog's
that
face.
is, that's frustrating.
Yeah.
That's probably.
Yeah, I mean, because you're telling them
Yes.
for safety reasons, for
Absolutely.
them,
Yep.
for the
Yep.
dog, for
Absolutely.
their coworkers.
Yeah.
That's got to be frustrating to kind of
Yeah. That's
like you feel like you're connecting,
Yeah.
you feel like they're understanding
Yeah.
and hearing, and they kind
Your
of,
actions after the fact don't
right,
roll
or it
up.
sticks for 3 days and then it's
Yeah.
back to
Yeah.
yeah. That's got to be, especially being in the yard as much as you are.
Yes.
That's got to be hard.
It is. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
And these younger people are used to having their phone
Their
in
phone
their
on them.
hand.
Yeah.
In their hand.
And they
It's an
can't have it.
appendage for
Yeah.
some people.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
won't just put it to young people. I've let 2 people go that were 50 plus
Oh.
for
Okay.
their phone usage. So I wouldn't just tie it to age.
Hmm.
I mean, I can tell you right now, I know people who are in their 70s, not talking about you, who cannot put their phone down. Cannot put their phone down.
Mm.
Literally in a restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
That's
going,
awful.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, put the phone down.
Yeah.
Right? Or at a family gathering.
Yeah.
What do you put the phone down?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
No, I think
Right?
it's horrible when
You
you're
know?
out to eat and people are, the whole family, the
Or
kids
if
are
there's
out,
a couple, that kills me.
the
There's
ones
a
that are
couple.
all on.
And they're both
And
on
they're
their
both on
phones.
their
their
phones.
phones.
Like, why did you go to a restaurant? Why didn't you
Just
just
stay
do
home.
takeout or what? Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
having people that aren't as compassionate as you are.
Right,
in
we
the
love
yard.
these dogs,
Yeah.
and we're just
Yeah,
like,
we
"You
do.
Please do the things.
Right? Can you
Do the
please
things."
just love them the way we do?
Yeah.
And that's a tall order,
Mhm.
right? Because
Right.
we've all been doing it not just a long time, but together. So
Yeah.
it's kind of probably a harder space to just walk into
Yeah.
and find your space, right? Even no matter how hard we try with parties and getting together and a great employee lounge where people can kibitz
Hang out.
Did you
and
see the post I did yesterday?
which one?
The one where I was like, "Look at this great
I
space
did.
we
It was
have,"
really good.
and there's Kayla.
There's Kayla
in the
spending
room,
half her
just
lunch
spending half her
with a
lunch
dog in a
with
room.
Kenji in her room, and she's just like cuddling with him. I'm like, "Oh my god!" She's like, "I was bored."
So she's our kind of crazy,
Oh.
right? Yeah. So
I think my thing is similar but different, where it's like the people who I can see the potential in, like I just want them to succeed and figure out how to get them to do that with like, excuse me, when it comes to the younger trainers that we have, I'm just like trying to make sure that I'm consistently motivating them
right.
and not making them get stagnant and making sure that their minds are still sharp. Like that's why they wanted to do this, right? So
right.
making sure that they're still being supported / the entire staff
Yeah.
kind of being supported.
Well, for me, that also comes down to letting go of the reins a little bit. You
Mhm.
know, like let them falter a little bit. You can't do everything for everybody. You've got to let them.
That's
chip
a
little
big problem too.
Yeah.
That's for I know for me.
Yeah.
I just want to go and do it for like nope, I'll just do it. But
Right.
I
Well,
have
I
to,
think
like,
that's a mom
That's
thing
right.
too.
Yeah,
It's like, I'm just
that
going to do
is.
it. It's just easier if I just do it.
yeah.
That is a mom.
And that's a
Absolutely.
struggle sometimes.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, I'll
Yeah.
just let it go.
All right. Well, compassion fatigue, it's real. Not just this industry, it's a lot of different industries. But when you're dealing with something that doesn't speak your language and it relies on you, I mean, we spend more time with a lot of these dogs than their owners do.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So we get very, very attached. And we have deep feelings about each and every one of them.
Mhm.
So what is our tip for today in terms of our topic of compassion fatigue? I think our tip would be understand, where the people who
Reach out to your trainer
Your
or
trainer,
your
your-
vet or whoever and tell them
they're doing,
something good.
they're doing a great, because we get a lot
That
of
helps.
we don't get a lot of, hey, I'm just calling you because Zoe had
I
a
have a
great
few.
day. It's usually
I have a few.
hey, I'm
Yeah. I have
I'm
one
concerned
client
about
who
this, or
consistently will text me at least once a month to tell me how great her dog is doing.
That's really wonderful.
And I
That's
haven't
great.
trained him
Yeah.
for like a year.
So that really helps
That's
people.
great.
You know, that it helps us a lot. I know that when we get an amazing email from one of our clients,
I got
or
a
a text
hug
message,
the other day.
oh, that makes me cry.
Oh.
We pass it all along to the whole staff. Like a compliment for one of us is a compliment for all of us. So that's
Yeah.
our tip for the
Reach
day.
out to your dog professional.
Right.
Your favorite dog
If we're
professional.
doing it right, let us
know.
know. If we're not doing it right, also let us
Yeah.
know. But the good stuff is good too. So thank you so much for your time. We'll see you again next week.